Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So whiteboard is visible, right?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today I'll give you demo of model sim. So what you have to do is uh, take one notebook, write all the instruction procedures. Step by step procedures in your notebook. Okay. So this procedure is repeated procedure for all your work. Hello.
Yes, Sir. sir.
So uh, take one notebook. Let me repeat since latecomers are there. So write down the procedures. If I say file, then you write file in your notebook. If I say open, just open. Okay. So all the procedures write down in your notebook. So now 24 students are there. So out of 33, 25 came. Okay. So we'll proceed. So before demonstrating, how many of you actually installed Model Sim in your laptop first? So send me a message through chat, right? You please send me a message. Registration number, yes or no. So whether you installed Model Sim in your laptop or not is your question. So give your answer in the chat section. Okay. So almost 20 students sent message. Good. So great response. So I'll go for the demonstration now. So what is the software Model Sim? Model Sim is the software developed by the company called Altera. Mentor Graphics. I'm sorry, Ultra is different. Mentor Graphics. Okay. Uh, so now this software is only used for technology independent simulation. I'll tell you what is technology independent. later. Okay, so technology independent. So there is no real libraries of, there is no real technology libraries added. That is the reason this software is just technology independent simulation. Okay, so now to learn this particular software, so what actually we have to do is we need to know the hardware description language HDL. In specific, we have two types, VHDL, Verilog HDL. VHDL stands for Very High Speed Integrated Circuit Hardware Description Language. Verilog HDL stands for Verification Logic Hardware Description Language. Okay, so now in our syllabus we have Verilog HDL. Reason is, so the syntax whatever is there is used in Verilog HDL is almost C. It follows the syntax rules whatever is used in the C. So it is very easy to learn. Easy to learn, and this is commercially used hardware description language. Almost all the software VLSI companies, right, for simulation purpose, they'll use this kind of software. So especially this model sim is for academic purpose. So model sim is for academic purpose. If you want to go for industry standard simulation, so we have the tools called NC Sim from Cadence. That is also there in our VIT VLSI. Okay, so don't worry. So once you reach the campus, I'll give you the industry standard tools also for simulation purpose. Okay, so now, so before going for the demonstration, everyone need to know what is Verilog HDL, basic Verilog HDL. What is Verilog HDL? Okay, so I'll tell you the general structure of Verilog HDL. Later I'll explain you what is required in Verilog HDL. Okay. So now I'll go for the new page. General structure. General structure of Verilog program. Verilog HDL program. You can say HDL program. Verilog HDL program. The first line. So all of you please write down the general structure in your notebook, since we are going to follow the general structure for all the circuits. Okay. We have to just confirm whether first step is over, second step is over, third step is over, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay. So then only you will get the complete package program, Verilog HDL. The very first line of your Verilog HDL starts with the basic building block, module. So module is the keyword. See, all the keywords in Verilog, right, are in small. So you should not use capital letters for representing the keywords, especially in Verilog HDL. All the keywords are in small. Okay. So then second line, same. Next one is you have to give the module name. The first line starts with module. So module name. So module name, you should not start with number. Say suppose $2 is not allowed. So you can use capital and small, whatever is required. Okay, except this number and dollar sign, you can start your module. Say suppose Avinash, or half adder, or full adder, multiplexer. A design name also you can give as the module name. Then within the closed bracket, so you have to represent the list of ports. List of ports and each and every line of the Verilog HDL is ended with semicolon. So it's ended with semicolon. So list of ports, what we have to add is, so all the top level input and output ports you have to add. Input and output ports we have to add. This is the first line of our Verilog HDL. Any doubt? Hello?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, good. So now, second line. Second line, so you have to use the keyword to define the input. So the keyword is again called input. So list of inputs, input comma list of inputs. Say A comma B comma C comma Z comma Y comma, right? So any variable you can use in 1, in 2, in 3, W1, W2, W3. Okay. So whenever you are representing a single variable, then that is called scalar. Okay. So if you want to represent a bus is nothing but group of wires. Suppose I just want to define 3 down to 0 A. So this is input using the keyword input 3 down to 0 A. So what it says is A is the variable. So the variable is having 4 name, A of 3, A of 2, A of 1, A of 0. So group of 4 wires is you can represent as vector. So this is the representation of vector, okay, in your Verilog. So the keyword is input for all, whether it is a scalar or vector, the keyword is input. Input is the keyword. So you can use A comma B comma C comma Z, that is for scalar. Suppose if you have multiple, say suppose I have A as 64 bits, B as 64 bits, then I have to use vector saying 63 down to 0. 63 down to 0, say A comma B. If I say 63 down to 0, A comma B, A is 64 lines, B is 64 lines, starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 63. Are you there? Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I'll go for the third line. Please quickly copy this first line and second line of Verilog. Hello, give me some message so that I can proceed here. Okay. So copied this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I'll go for the next page. So third line, you have to uh, 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 represent output. So for that, the keyword is output. Say A, B, C. So if you want to represent scalar, again, you can say A comma B comma C, in 1, in 2, in 3, out 1, out 2, out 3. Okay. So suppose if you want to represent vector, use the same keyword output. Say suppose I have 4 wires of output. A is 4 wire, B is 4 wire, C is 4 wire. So what I can do is I can say output 3 down to 0, A comma B comma C. It says A is A of 3, A of 2, A of 1, A of 0. Then B is B of 3, B of 2, B of 1, B of 0. Then C is C of 3, C of 2, C of 1, C of 0. So A comma B comma C all are variables which is having 4 bits. A has 4 bits, B has 4 bits, C has 4 bits. So in this way also you can represent. So this is vector representation of output variable, and this is scalar representation of output variable. Are you there? So remember, all your lines, Verilog HDL lines is ended with semicolon. See, I'm using semicolon everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm going for the fourth line. So fourth line of the Verilog HDL is to define interconnection or intermediate connection. So we have to represent intermediate connection or interconnection. So for that, the keyword is wire. So to represent the intermediate connection, the keyword is wire. So again, this also can be represented as scalar vector A comma B comma C, or you can say if wire is 4, size of 4, then you can say 3 down to 0, A comma B comma C. So wires also, interconnections also you can represent as scalar as well as vector. Okay, see, this intermediate connection is not your top level ports. Okay, internally you will be having some connections within the circuit, within the logic gates. So that you have to define in the fourth line. That is interconnection or intermediate connection. So for representing the intermediate connection, the keyword is wire. So to represent scalar, you can say A comma B comma C. So W1, W2, W3. Similarly, wire, if you want to represent a group of wires, bus, A is 4 bit, B is 4 bit, C is 4 bit, you can use 3 down to 0. Okay. This is the fourth line of Verilog HDL. Come on.
Sir, after wire is it 3 semicolon 0 or which one, sir?
Yes, yeah, 3 down, colon. It's not semicolon, colon. 3 colon 0. 3 colon 0. Within the square bracket, you have to represent. So line is ended with semicolon, my dear. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. You need time? So I'll go for the next line. 5. So fifth line of your Verilog HDL so is function. So this function you can represent either one line Verilog HDL or 1000 line Verilog HDL or 10,000 line Verilog HDL. So this is the important portion, describes the hardware, functionality of the hardware. Depends on the complexity of the circuit. So fifth portion of your Verilog HDL may be a 1 line or 100 line or 1000 line or 10,000 line. So there is no limit. That is what I want to tell you, my dears. Depends on the hardware complexity, the number of lines will go. Okay. So this functionality is explained or is described in 3 ways. One is structural, data flow, behavioral. So in 3 ways you can describe the functionality of your circuit. One is structural, data flow, behavioral. Okay. So now sixth line of your Verilog HDL is end module. Says program is ended. So this is the 6 lines we have to check one by one. So for Verilog HDL program. So the moment you completed all 6 lines, then your Verilog HDL is ready. Okay.
Sir, what we describe in end module, sir?
End module is just saying the program is ended. One line, that's all. Nothing. Just to represent the program is ended. This is one line code. Don't worry. This is the one line. See, we started the Verilog HDL using the first line module, correct? Module
Sir, after the declaration of end module, should we use semicolon or not?
No, after the end module, semicolon is not required. Good question.
Okay.
After the end module, semicolon is not required. So now I'll take you to one circuit diagram, the well-known circuit diagram. I'll describe Verilog HDL for that. That I'll try to simulate using model sim. Okay, this is our target. So now I'll go for small circuit which is having 2 logic gates, half adder. Okay, which is having 2 logic gates, half adder. So what is half adder? Half adder is a combinational logic circuit. The moment I write CLC, it says it's a combinational logic circuit. It takes A, B as input, performs A plus B, binary arithmetic A plus B, and delivers 2 results. One is sum, other one is carry. So this circuit will try to describe using Verilog HDL and we'll try to simulate. Okay. So now if I have A, B as inputs, 2 variables as inputs, then I can write 4 possible cases of inputs. So that is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So 4 possible cases I can apply using variable A and variable B. So now, so we are doing some binary arithmetic before going for the program and expression. So manual calculation of sum and carry. Okay. So now if I add 0 plus 0, my sum is equal to 0, carry is equal to 0. If I add 0 plus 1, my sum is equal to 1, my carry is equal to 0. If I add 1 plus 0, my sum is equal to 1, my carry is equal to 0. If I add 1 plus 1, my result is 10. That is, in binary it is 2. So my sum is equal to 0, carry is equal to 1. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So now,
No.
so please note down a number of expressions, number of output expressions, number of output variables. Let me put number of output variables, which is equal to number of expressions required. Number of expressions required. Now I have two output variables, sum and carry. So I have to obtain sum and carry expressions for that. So now I'm just trying to find out the expression for sum. So my sum is equal to 1 for two possible cases of inputs. The inputs are when A is 0, B is 1, my sum is equal to 1. When A is 1, B is 0, my sum is equal to 1. So for two cases, my sum is equal to 1. So this 0, 1 and 1, 0 I can represent as, if 0 is there, I can write the variable as bar, A bar. If 1 is there, I can write the variable as B, A bar B, plus A is represented as 1, so I can say A. So B is represented as 0, so I can represent B bar. So A bar B plus A B bar is the expression for sum. So which expression says this is equal to A exclusive or B. So what it says is, if you pass AB into one exclusive OR gate, so the output of exclusive OR gate is nothing but sum. Yes, that is what it says. Are you there?
So can you explain this part once again?
Yeah. See, I just want to find out the expression for sum. I'm just going for the sum column. I have to check. So at what possible combinations of inputs my output is 1. Only the sum column. I'm not concentrating carry, since for carry I have to develop separate expression. So only sum column I'm concentrating with AB. So if AB is 0, 0, my sum is equal to 0. I'm not considering. When the output is 0, don't consider. So now when the input is 0, 1, my sum is equal to 1. So my sum is equal to 1. So I have to consider the case 0, 1. So 0, 1 is represented here as A bar B. Reason is A variable is 0, B variable is 1. If the variable is represented as 0, you can represent as complement. If the variable is represented as 1, you can represent as real. So now 0, 1 is represented as first combination of inputs. So 0, 1 is AB. So I can say A bar B, since 0 is for A. Any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, next again, I'm going for the third case. So applying 1, 0, for that 1, 0 case, my sum is equal to 1. So when sum is equal to 1, when the respected output is 1, you have to take the combination. Now the combination is, next combination is 1, 0. So either 0, 1 or 1, 0 comes, your sum is equal to 1, right? For two possible cases. So I'm using the OR operator here. Okay. This or this, my sum is equal to 1. So now 1, 0 I can represent as A, B bar. Reason is B is represented as 0. So I'm representing the variable in terms of complement form, A, B bar. Now, so this A bar B plus A, B bar is the expression for exclusive OR gate. So what it says, exclusive OR gate will generate the output whenever different input comes, 0, 1 and 1, 0 comes. The exclusive OR will tell you the logic as true.
Yes, sir.
So that is the reason. So if you pass AB into one exclusive OR gate, so the resultant of exclusive OR gate is nothing but sum of your addition. So whatever is generated by exclusive OR is considered as sum.
Oh, sir.
Okay. So now I'll go for the second column. You please listen again. So for 0, 0, my C is equal to 0. I'm not considering the case. For 0, 1, my carry is equal to 0. I'm not considering this case. For 1, 0 also my carry is 1. I'm not considering the case. So for 1, 1, my carry is 1. So what I have to do is, so I have to write the expression for carry. So carry combination is 1, 1. So I can represent this as AB. Reason is both the variables are 1, 1. So I can represent the expression as AB. Both are real variables, correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay, so now what it says is AB represents the AND logic. So whenever you pass AB into an AND logic gate, the final expression of AND gate is what? A dot B, correct? So the AND gate will deliver the carry of the, I'm sorry, CARRY, carry of your addition circuit. Are you there? Now,
Yes, sir.
this logic is a single circuit diagram. So what I'm doing is I'm using common port AB, connecting one exclusive OR gate and generating the output as sum. The same AB I'm connecting to one AND gate. Since AND output is A dot B, so that will deliver the output as carry. So this logic circuit diagram is called as half adder circuit diagram. Any doubt?
Sir, once explain carry, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, carry is 1 for only one possible case, sir. When A is 1, B is 1, my carry is 1. Correct? Unara, answer Chapali.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. When A is equal to 1, B is equal to 1, your carry is equal to 1. For only one possibility, that is 1 possibility, my carry is 1. So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
writing for understanding purpose, I'm writing 1, 1. Okay. So later I'll write only the expressions, only the variables. Now A is equal to 1, B is equal to 1. When the variable is 1, you can represent the real variable. So A is equal to 1, so I'm representing A. B equal to 1, so I'm representing B. So it says A, B is the expression for carry. When A is equal to 1, B is equal to 1, my carry is 1. So this A dot B is nothing but AND logic. So whenever you pass A input and B input into the AND logic gate, the result is nothing but carry. That is what it says. So now exclusive OR generates sum, AND logic generates carry. So now if I combine both as a single circuit, I'll get half adder. So AB, if I pass 0, A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0, I'll get sum as 0, carry as 0. Since 0, 0 XOR is 0, 0, 0 AND is 0. So now apply A is 0, B as 1. So when two different inputs are there, 0, 1 is there, my sum is equal to 1. My carry, if any one of the fellow, 0, 1, right? Any one of the input is 0, my AND logic will tell you the output as 0. So second case, 1, 0. So now apply 1, 0, that is third possibility, A as 1, B as 0. So now when you apply A as 1, B as 0, so different input goes to the exclusive OR. So the exclusive OR will tell you the output as 1. So one of the input for AND logic is 0. So your output is again 0. Now you apply the last case as 1, 1. So A as 1, B as 1. So now same inputs is applied to the exclusive OR logic. Exclusive OR will tell you the 0 whenever same kind of logic is reached. But the AND logic receives 1, 1 as input. When both the inputs are 1 for AND will tell you the output as 1. So now you are generating sum and carry for 4 possible cases of the input 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So this circuit generates proper sum and carry, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what we are doing is we are going to consider this as a model circuit and we are going to develop Verilog HDL using the six general steps. Okay?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
So what is the reason we call this circuit as a half adder?
Sir, actually, whenever you are going for a multi-bit addition, say suppose A I'm considering as 1 0, B I'm considering as 1 1. Okay. So now, let me take three cases. So A is 101, B is 111, 3-bit addition. So whenever I'm adding 1 plus 1, my result is equal to 10. So my sum is equal to 0, my carry is equal to 1. So whenever the carry is generated, the carry is taken to the next stage. Correct? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when the carry is considered, so with AB, so carry in is also added. So it is having 3 bits, correct? AB already is having 2 bits. So now carry in is coming from the previous stage. Now this circuit won't support the carry in. It will take only AB. So whenever you are considering only AB, so that is not your full addition, correct? So whenever the carry in is also considered for the addition, that is called as full addition. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
So that is the
Yes, sir.
reason this architecture is called as half addition circuit. Hello.
Sir, what
Yes,
is
sir.
sir?
So we have one more circuit full adder that is called as proper adder. Okay. So we'll discuss later in our theory class. Don't worry.
Sir, what
Now-
is application of half adder, sir?
Yes, sir. What is the?
Application of half adder, sir.
Sir, addition, sir, whenever you are going to add least significant bit, see, suppose I have multiple bits, A has 64 bits, B has 64 bits. Okay. So if I go for full adder is having 5 logic gates. If I go for half adder is having only 2 logic gate. So for adding least significant bit, so suppose A0, B0. So in this case, I have A0, B0, 101, 111. So in this case, least significant bit of A as well as B is having only 2 bits. There is no carry from any side. Correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So least significant bit of multi-bit addition is executed using half adder. So whenever you are using LSB addition for using half adder, 3 logic gates you are saving. Since full adder requires 5 logic gates, half adder requires 2 logic gates. So 3 circuit diagram you are saving. So 3 into, say, suppose approximately 4 transistors, 12 transistors you are saving. So if you save 12 transistor silicon, so you'll be saving almost 10 to 15 lakhs of your IC cost. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please quickly copy this. So I have to go for demonstration. Hello. Shall I proceed here?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going for Verilog HDL of half adder. Okay, I'll draw the circuit diagram here quickly for understanding purpose. AB is the input for some circuit. S is the output of some. So AB is connected to AND gate for generating the carry. So now this is the architecture of half adder. Now we'll try to write Verilog HDL for this circuit diagram. Okay. So now first line of Verilog HDL is what? Module. So module name, let me write, has half adder. List of ports S, C, A, B. So SC represents outputs, AB represents inputs. All the list of ports I am representing within this bracket. First line of Verilog HDL for half adder is ready. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
second line of Verilog HDL, we have to please remove this number. Okay, just for understanding purpose only, I'm adding the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Later you have to forget this. Okay. Second line, so you have to represent input. So input is the keyword to represent the input variables. So I have two inputs here. So I'm saying A comma B semicolon. So I have A comma B as input. Both are scalar, single wire inputs. Second line is over. Now I'm going for third line. So third line, I have to define the keyword output variables. So the keyword is output. The variables are S comma C. Third line of Verilog HDL is over. So fourth line of Verilog HDL. So now here there is no intermediate connection. See, A is the first level, AB is first level variables, SC is the next level variables. Suppose if any logic gate drives one more logic gate, then this intermediate connection is called as wire, W. So whenever there is an interconnection, intermediate connection, okay, then only we have to add the fourth line. So this is a single level circuit. So there is no intermediate connections here. Input and output, that's all. So for that, fourth line is not required. Now I'm going for fifth line. So fifth line, let me go for the structural level modeling. So in structural level modeling, I'll tell you, so we have direct primitives. Suppose if I want AND, you can use AND primitive. If I want XOR, you can use XOR primitive. All the logic gates, right, is used with the name, primitive names, and XOR. So inbuilt primitives are available in Verilog HDL, so that you can use for constructing the circuit. So now I'm going to use the first primitive exclusive OR. So exclusive OR, the moment you say XOR, so XOR primitive is called. Okay. So let me put some instant name. So X1. So output variable comma input variable. All your logic gate is represented with out and or any logic gate, instant name, then output comma in1, in2, in3, in4, in5, in6. Okay. First variable is output. So let me put first variable sum A comma B as the input. Any doubt? So this is output. So input in 1, input 2. So now I'm just calling XOR primitive for constructing the sum section. Next, I'm just calling the second primitive AND primitive for constructing the carry X2. C is the output. A comma B is the input. So now fifth line of my Verilog HDL is over using two lines. One is XOR primitive, other one is AND primitive. Since my half adder circuit is having only two logic gate, XOR logic gate and AND logic gate. So using only two logic gates, I can define what is the first variables of your within the bracket is your output. So S is output, C is output, A comma B is the input. Okay. So then sixth line of your Verilog HDL. So by default end module. So you have to say end module. So you have to say end module. So this is the simple Verilog HDL program of half adder. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So now I'm going to simulate this using model sim. Okay. So take 2 minutes, quickly copy the program. So now I'm going for the simulation using model sim. So hope everyone installed model sim in your laptop, correct? So open the model sim software. So now all of you please note down the steps in your notebook. Open the model sim software. So now go to file. Guys, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. See,
Yes,
once
sir.
you open the model sim Ultra simulation software, you go to file, change directory. Go to file, change directory. So it will uh, show you the path where actually your software is installed, either in C drive or D drive or E drive, correct? There you create one separate folder saying DLD Verilog HDL. So I'm just creating one folder DLD L1 L2. So is the folder I created. So let me use one more underscore Verilog. So I created DLD L1 L2. See, the reason is, so while simulating, right, all your files will be saved in the separate folder. So if you create DLD Verilog, so in the same folder itself, all your programs will be copied. For the future purpose, you can take, and for verification, you can show all your programs from one folder. Okay, you can create your own registration number also as folder. So 19 BEC 0010, 19 BEC 0011, any folder you create for DLD lab purpose. That is my instruction. Are you there? So I worked with this directory folder. So it says current project will closed. Okay. So I'm saying yes. Now you go to file. Once the directory is created and your DLD folder or your registration is properly mentioned, now you go to file. new project. My dears, please note down. Go to file, new project. Write down in your notebook, file, new project. So if you select file, new project, so you will get create project window. Okay. So in that, I'm just using half header. The module name, whatever you want to give, better you give module name. Okay. I'm just using my module name half header. Okay. So and the project location, you please confirm whether the project location is directing your registration number or your folder, whatever you created. Sometimes the location will be in some other place, a D drive. So your software and your directory will be there in C drive. Okay. In that case, so you have to specify project location exactly. So once you follow this instruction, later, right, you won't find any errors in your simulation process. So give your project name. Better you give your project name as your module name. Half header, full header, multiplexer, and so also for clarification purpose, you just write your registration number, half header 19BEC 0010. So what it says is, so 19BEC 0010 is simulated. So whenever you are sending soft copy of your results, right, I can just verify using the registration number. So you can't get the results from your other friends. Okay. You need to send the results from your own folder. So for that purpose, so create your project name with your registration number, half header underscore 19BEC 001, 19BEC 100, 19BEC 200, 700. Okay. Are you there? I'm just creating my project name as half header. So also confirming whether it points the directory or folder, whatever I created. Okay. Then say okay. It will, you will get 4 options. Okay. Create new file, add existing file, create simulation, create new folder. So you go to create new file. Again, you'll get a pop-up window. So in that window, there is an option called add file as type. The very first work, you please go and change the file type as Verilog. You go and change your file type as Verilog and you give your name as half header again. Are you there? Guys, if you find any problem, please let me know. So you'll get 4 windows. So in that, the very first option is create new file. If you go to create new file, so it will come with the file name and the file type. So you have to specify the file type as Verilog. The reason is by default, the file type is mentioned as VHDL. If you are not changing this file type as Verilog during simulation, right, you will get error. So your simulator won't consider this file and it won't give you the result. So that is the reason. Change your file type as Verilog, then say OK. Then immediately, so in the project window, so you will be getting half header.v. So all your Verilog file is extension is .v. Okay. So now what we have to do is, so after creating the .v Verilog file, so either you can right click and either you can go for right click, edit, or you can double click. So it will take you to the text editor directly. Okay. So in the text editor, you have to type the program module, HALFADDER, list of ports. I have to specify S, C, A, B. Then semicolon, I should not forget. So semicolon is also added. So input A, B. All your keywords will be highlighted in different color, remember. Okay. So input. Then the next keyword is output. So S, C is the output variable. Output S, C is also declared. XOR. So I'm just implementing the sum section using the instant text one. So S is the output, A, B is the input. for exclusive OR gate. So ended with semicolon. Then again and instant name. Let me put this fellow as x2. Then carry is output C comma A comma B. C is output, A comma B is your inputs. So ended with semicolon. The last line is end module. So end module is one line keyword. You should not give space between end and module. Otherwise, the tool will give you some errors. Are you there? Come on, give some response, please.
Yes, sir. Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now once you copy this Verilog HDL, once you type this Verilog HDL, so immediately go and save. Okay. Save your Verilog HDL file immediately. The moment you completed your typing work, save your file. Okay. So now you go for compile. Next procedure, you please take down. Compilation of your Verilog HDL for syntax checking. Okay. So is there any syntax problems, errors are there? Okay, that we have to check. For that, go to compile. So compile selected. So if you have multiple Verilog HDLs, then you can go for compile all. Okay, so based upon the very programs, you can select. So now I'm going for the transcript window will show you. Yeah. So this is the transcript window. This transcript window after compilation, so you need to give the green color message saying the compilation was successful. Okay, so let me introduce some error here. You just see my Verilog. Let me open the halfadder.v. I'm just forcibly committing some mistake. Okay. Yeah. So now I'm removing one semicolon in the first line. I'm just introducing one error. So definitely you will commit some errors. Okay. So how to overcome that errors? For that purpose only, I'm introducing one error and I'm telling how to overcome. Okay. So committed one error. Now I'm saving the file. So now again I'm going for compilation. Compile selected. Now if you go to transcript window, so you'll come to know the red color message saying the compilation failed with one error. So if you double click this error, you will come to know where actually you committed the mistake. So now it says near input. So there is a syntax error. Unexpected input, expecting semicolon. The tool itself will tell you where actually in which line you committed the problem. Okay, what is expected, everything the tool will tell you. So based on the tool instruction, you can just go and rectify the problem. So now I'm just go verifying the syntax and inserting one semicolon. Are you there?
Yes.
So whenever you are getting an error message, double click the error message. The message will tell you in which line so you committed a mistake and what is the kind of error. Okay, everything will be explained by the tool. What you have to do is you have to follow the tool and you have to correct the tool. That's all. Okay. So once any modification in the text editor is made, you have to save the file, remember. So now I inserted one semicolon. If I'm not saving the file, the same old file will be considered for the compilation. Again, you'll get error. So what you have to do is whenever the small changes you are making in your Verilog HDL, save that immediately. Okay. Then go for compile. Compile selected. Now you again go for the transcript window. So now the transcript window is saying green message saying was successful. This is the way you have to write your Verilog HDL and you have to check your syntax. Number one. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No,
Okay,
sir.
next process is simulation process. Please note down simulation as your heading. In that heading, you write simulate. Note down simulate. Start simulation. Go to start simulation. Simulate. Start simulation. So in start simulation, there will be a work folder. Okay. So in start simulation window, you will get a work folder. In that work folder, your module names will be listed. So my module name is half header. You select the respected module name and say OK. Are you there? Let me repeat. Go to simulate, start simulation. You'll get one window. So in that window, work folder, work directory will be there. So in that directory, you'll be having your module names as your separate files. HA, half header, full header, multiplexer, 19BC0010, 19BC 200, right? So whatever the name you created, that module name will be visible. Remember, you have to select the module name. So module name half header is selected and say OK. Now the tool will come up with multiple windows. Okay. So now go to objects window. So please note down, go to objects window. There, so list of variables are available. So you select what are all the variables you want for verification or in the waveform window. Okay. So I need all 4 variables for my waveform window. So I'm selecting all 4. So go to add to wave selected signals. Please note down. Select the variables input and output, whatever you want to display. Go to add to wave selected signals. Add to wave selected signals. The variables will be moved to the waveform window. If you do this, the variables A, B, C, S, everything will be moved to the waveform window. Now I am selecting this. Select selected signals. Okay. So now if you go to the waveform window, since you have separate waveform window, all the variables A, B, S, C, everything is available here. Okay. So now I moved all my variables in the waveform window. What I have to do is I have to apply what is A, what is B. So I'm applying the first case. So for applying the input, you have 3 options. Now I'll tell you 2 options for today's class. Third option is test bench. I'll explain you later. Okay. Now first methodology is using force, you can apply the input. Note down, using force, you can apply the input. Select the variable, right click, go to force. Select the variable A. You have to select only input. Remember, you should not select output and feed. Reason is a tool need to give the output. Hello. Sometimes the students will force SS1, CS0. So tool need to give what is sum, what is carry. You have to apply only the inputs. Select only the inputs A. Go to force. Now the value is represented as HIZ, high impedance state. Okay. Now you remove this HIZ and put the value as 1. So go for drive. Okay, you can use any 3 options. It will work for smaller numbers. Don't worry. Okay. So, okay. So now what it says is A is fixed with 1. Now I'm going for B. Input B. Right click. Force again for saying what is B. Again, the value of B is represented as by default high impedance. So I'm just saying my value of B as 1. So now, so what I'm doing is I'm just fixing A as 1. B as 1, correct? When A plus B is 1 plus 1, what is your sum? What is your carry? What is your expected sum? What is your expected carry?
0 and 1.
So see your truth table. 1 plus 1 is added. Sum is 0. Carry is 1. Correct? So sum I need to obtain as 0. Carry I have to get as 1. So now we are going to verify whether we are getting proper output or not. Always before verifying the waveform, you have to do mathematical calculation in your notebook. Mind calculation in your notebook. You need to expect the output and you need to go to the waveform. You should not simply go to the waveform and you should not take the values from the waveform. You have to think what is the expected, whether the expected results are available in the waveform or not, since this is a machine. Okay. So now A and B is fixed as 1, 1. Now actually next to 100 picoseconds, there is a number on top of your window. There is a 100 picoseconds time, right? Next to the 100 picosecond, there is a key called run, F9. So shortcut key is F9. Directly you can press F9 or you can go and press the run button. Next to 100 picoseconds time, there is an option called run button, or directly you can press F9. The key is F9. So if you press this F9, so you will be getting green color signals in your waveform window immediately. Now go and place your cursor there. So now yellow line cursor, if you go and press your mouse, the cursor will be placed. Don't worry. So now yellow color line is placed. So left side of the yellow color line, you can see A is equal to ST1 state 1, B is equal to state 1, S is equal to state 0, C is equal to state 1. What is that? It says 1 plus 1 is added, sum is generated as 0, carry is generated as 1. So your functionality is correct. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I'll go to go and feed the next case. So let me change only A. I'm going for A, right click, force, changing my value as 0. So now drive or deposit. Okay. So now A is fixed as what? 0. Now again go for F9, one more run. So now you see the second window, you just place your cursor, place your mouse there. Okay, left click, so you'll get a marker. So left side of the marker you can see A is fixed as 0, B is fixed as 1. For that case, sum is 1, carry is 0. This is expected, correct? 0 plus 1, sum is 1, carry is 0. Now I'm changing my B as 0. Go right click, select B, force your B as 0. Drive, okay. So now again go for run. Now what happens? So your A is equal to, just place your cursor. I'm sorry, it is not loaded. Let me fix once again. B is fixed as 0. So now you run. Force, value 0. Freeze, let me freeze. Yeah. So now A is 0, B is 0. For that particular case, sum is represented as 0, carry is represented as 0. Left side you can see A is equal to state 0, B is equal to state 0, S is equal to state 0, C equal to state 0. What is that? It says 0 plus 0, circuit is added and it gives you the result as 0, 0. So all the possibilities are verified one by one just by using the force option. This is one way to represent the inputs. Now I'm going for the second way of giving the inputs. So now go for A. Please note down second way of verifying the circuit diagram. Select A, right click, go to clock. So previously we selected force. Now next to the force, there is an option called clock. Select clock. So duty cycle is mentioned as 50, period is mentioned as 100. Okay, you say okay. That is 100 picoseconds is the clock. Your circuit will consider as A. That is what it says. 50 picoseconds on time, 50 picoseconds off time. Okay, say okay. Now I'm going for B. Again, consider B as a clock signal. Change your clock period as 200. So what it says is 50% duty cycle, 100 picoseconds is on time, 100 picoseconds is off time. Okay, say okay. Now A is fixed as 100 period, B is fixed as 200 period. Now you go for F9, run. Now, so the first signal, right? Say 0 to 50, 50 to 100. So second signal, only 100 picoseconds is visible. So let me select one more run. So now the complete signal is visible. See, 1 1. If I place the cursor marker there in the waveform, that is clock waveform, left side I can see what is A, what is B, what is sum, what is carry. 1 1 is the input right now. So your sum is 0, carry is 1. Now I'm just going for the second half of the waveform, that is clock waveform. So in that, A is equal to 0, B is equal to 1, sum is 1, carry is 0. Yes, that is also verified. Going for the next window of waveform. So in that case, A is equal to 1, B is equal to 0, sum is equal to 1, carry is equal to 0. Next waveform, A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0, sum is equal to 0, carry is equal to 0. So now whenever you are using your A and B as a clock signals, you will get maximum possibilities 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Suppose if you have three variables A comma B comma C, then select your C as a different period 100 200 300, so that you will get all the possible combinations of input. So all the inputs you can verify in one attempt. This is second way of applying the inputs. Any doubt?